So, very happy to be here today. And when His Grace Ramchandra Prabhu asked me to talk about this topic, of course, I was very grateful to him for this service. And when I was reading about it and hearing about this topic more, my gratitude for Prabhuji even increased because it gave me an opportunity to, realize how much more purification is needed for me. We cannot stay in our comfort zone in Krishna path of Krishna consciousness. So thank you again, His Grace Ramchandra Prabhu, for giving me this opportunity for my benefit. So like Gopal Govind Prabhuji said, topic is very simple and there is a beautiful pastime in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita that we can refer to understand it even better. So with that, we'll start with our Mangla Charan. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वदान्तिकम्। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So today our topic is to reflect on a very simple but a life-changing truth. Once again, who might have joined just recently, our topic is Krishna sees our heart, not body. So, Shri Krishna, he does not see us the way the world sees us. He does not measure us looking at our bodies, our beauty, our position in the social or professional life, our education, our health, or our success in general. He actually looks deeper. He sees the heart of devotees. He sees the sincerity in our heart. And he sees humility. And on top of that, he sees our longing and surrender for him. If we see around us, we are living in a world which is constantly judging our externals. On the contrary, Lord's vision is completely different. His eyes go straight into our inner intention, what's in our heart. So we see there is a beautiful pastime of Vasudev Vipra that is described in the chapter 7 of Madhya Leela of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So we will follow that pastime, beautiful pastime. And we just celebrated Gaur Purnima yesterday. So I think it is so nice that we can continue in the same meditation of Shri Gaurang Mahaprabhu. So we'll dive more into that pastime. So we'll sing our Chaitanya Charitamrita Mangala Charan. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Brinda। Shri Gaurang Mahaprabhu ki Jai, Nityanand Prabhu ki Jai, Panch Tattva ki Jai। So once again, happy God Purnima to all the devotees on the call. So this is from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 7. We will cover few verses, and if all of you or whoever can follow along, please feel free to recite with me. एबे सबाई स्थाने मुनि मागो एक दाने सबे मिली आज्ञा देहा जैबे दक्षिणे. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is on the tour for South India. So before that tour starts, he is asking for the permission from devotees in Sri Jagannath Puri. So one day in Jagannath Puri Dham, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called all his devotees, all his followers together, and holding them by hand one by one. Humbly, he is informing them that you are all very dear to me. I can give up my life for you. But to give up on you or leave you is very difficult for me. So this verse, the translation is, Mahaprabhu is saying, I now beg all of you for one bit of charity. He's asking from his devotees, his followers. Please give me permission to leave for a tour of South India. So who is Bhagwan Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Bhagwan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is Swarat, completely independent, Swatantra. He is asking for a permission so humbly. Why? Because he knows his devotees will be heartbroken with the feeling of separation. And he himself will be heartbroken. He cannot live without his devotees. But for Lok Kalyan, for the benefit of the world, he has to move on for Lok Mangalam. Now, it's very hard for a heart like me, for a person like me to understand, because this relationship between Bhagwan Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees is purely unconditional love. So what happens next? मत्त सिंह प्राय प्रभु करिल गमन प्रेम वेशे आय करी नाम संकीर्तन. Almost like a mad lion, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went on his tour filled with ecstatic love and performing Sankirtan, chanting Krishna's names. So Sriman Mahaprabhu, he sets out on his South India tour not as a scholar to seek some debates and to establish himself as the biggest devotee or biggest scholar, not even as a sannyasi or to show that he is the greatest sannyasi, but as Krishna himself searching for hearts who are ready to receive his love. So he's looking for his devotees who will accept his gift. Externally, he is a sannyasi, but internally, he is Krishna himself tasting the love of Srimati Radharani. And he is spreading that love freely, unconditionally. And what is he chanting? Krishna, 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 Krishna hai. Krishna, 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 Krishna hai. Krishna, 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 Rakshaman. Krishna, 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 Pahimam. Ram Raghav, Ram Raghav, Ram Raghav, Rakshamam. Krishna Keshav, Krishna Keshav, Krishna Keshav, Pahimam. So he's just chanting the names of Krishna, Rama, and he's spreading this love to everyone. Sei lok prema mate hana bale Hari Krishna, Prabhura pache sange yae darshan satshana. Whoever heard Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chant Hari Hari also chanted the holy name of Lord Hari and Krishna. In this way, they all followed the Lord, very eager to see him. So, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is walking village to village, temple to temple, and simply chanting the holy name. And he's giving hugs to people who are he's meeting. There is no consideration of caste or whether somebody is rich or poor, somebody has a big house or a small house, their social position. There is no consideration like that. Only qualification he is asking for is, will you chant these Krishna's name? When he meets someone, he does not give them money or any mystical powers, but he is giving them the greatest wealth of Krishna Prem in the form of names of Krishna. And on top of it, he is giving it freely. There is no charge. And if someone chants even more sincerely, their life changes. So wherever he is going, people are transforming. People are taking Krishna, they're accepting the names of Krishna, and they are transforming. What happens next? Sei jana nij grame kariya gamana, Krishna bali hase kande nache anukshana. Each of these empowered persons would return to his own village, always chanting the holy name of Krishna and sometimes laughing, crying, and dancing. They're already in ecstasy. Yare dekhe tare kahe kahe Krishna naam, ei mat Vaishnava kaile sab nij gram. And all these such empowered persons would request everyone and anyone in their own village, whoever they will see, to chant the holy name of Krishna. So this holy name was spreading like a wildfire. Everybody was dancing, chanting, crying, laughing, and chanting. And in this way, all the villagers would also become devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And in this way, Harinam spread like a wildfire in the whole of South India. Vasudeva naam ek dvij mahashaya, sarvange galita kushtha tate kidamaya. Now on the way, what happens? Just before this pastime, after bestowing his causeless mercy upon a Brahmana called Kurma in Kurmistan, now on the way, Sriman Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed through the village where there was a Brahman with the name Vasudev. Great personality, great devotee, but he was suffering from a very serious disease, leprosy. It was so extreme that we can see in this picture, his body was filled with living worms and they were biting him all the time. Now, this happened 540 years ago, about, right? And I was searching online, the cure to leprosy was found just in 1982, just about 35 years back. Now, this contrast of how deceived he was, at the same time a great devotee, is the theme of our meditation today. So let's try to get into the scene by meditating on these verses, this pastime. So he was deceived and was rejected by society because leprosy is supposed to be a contagious disease. And we can imagine 540 years back, he will be kind of outcasted. His body was covered with sores, wounds. And when worms used to fall from his body, he used to pick them up and put them back on his body. Because he thought his body is useless anyway, but at least these worms are getting food out of his body. Such a high degree of compassion, hard to imagine. Just see the consciousness. If I will let them fall and die, then I'm creating violence for them. That was his consciousness. So Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj says in one of his commentary, a Vaishnava is a par dukha dukhi. Very easy to say, right? But just not for humans, but even for other entities, other living entities. In spite of this precarious condition of his body, so much pain we can imagine, he had no anger towards God. He was not blaming anybody for his condition. He was accepting it silently as a result of his past karma. That was his consciousness. And this is definitely not an ordinary tolerance. And how he was able to tolerate and still keep the high consciousness? Because he was a great devotee of Krishna. Externally, his body was totally useless, but internally he was a great Vaishnava. So we'll see what happens next. Ratri te sunela teno goshanira agamana dekhi bare aila prabhate kurmera bhavana. Then one night, Vasudev heard of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's arrival. And in the morning, he came to see the Lord at the house of Kurma Brahman. And here is the turning point. He heard that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come in a nearby village, but because of his disease, he could not go very easily. He had to really struggle to go and try to take darshan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prabhura gamana kurma mukhete sunina bhumite padila dukhe murchitahana. When the leper Vasudev came to Kurma's house to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was informed that the Lord had already left. Hare Krishna. The leper then fell to the ground unconscious. So what happened here? By the time he reached the place, Mahaprabhu already left from there. And when Vasudev heard that he missed taking the darshan of Lord, he fell unconscious, thinking, I'm so sinful. I'm so sinful that I could not even reach on time and take darshan of the Lord. So this feeling of strong separation is the key to Krishna's heart. Now, I have no realization about it, but all our Vaishnavacharyas say that unless we develop strong separation, the mood of strong separation for Krishna, it is very difficult to advance. Just like in Krishna Lila, we see how Gopas, when Shri Krishna was having a nice pastime with Kaliya in the river Yamuna, and Kaliya was attacking him, and he actually at one point Kaliya trapped Krishna, or Krishna, we can say Krishna allowed him to get trapped into Kaliya's coils. Seeing that, all the Gopas on the banks of the river Yamuna who were watching all this, they just felt unconscious, thinking that Krishna is gone. And hearing this incident, Mother Yashoda, who was not even there, she fainted in the Nanda Bhavan, just by hearing that Kaliya has attacked Krishna. Immediately the mood of separation, that feeling of separation developed. So very hard to understand for a person like me, but that longing is what we need to attract Krishna in our life. And Sri Rupa Goswami, he says in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Krishna Bhakti Ras Bhavita Mati Kriyatam Yati Kuto Api Labhyate. Only price for Krishna Bhakti is intense greed. Like Vasudev, he had intense greed to meet with Krishna. So only prize is we cannot attract Krishna's mercy, Krishna's attraction for us by money or by our social position or professional position, nothing. Only prize is lollyum, this intense greed. Just like our Guru Maharaj, the Guru Maharaj always he likes to sing this, the mood of six Goswamis, how they were chanting very loudly everywhere in Vrindavan, on the shore of Mother Yamuna, River Yamuna. हे राधे व्रज देवी के चललिते हे नंद सुनो कुता श्री गोवर्धन कल्प पादप तले कालिंदी बने कुता. Our six Goswamis, they were always in this mood of separation from Krishna and singing and looking for gopis, for the association of Radharani, gopis, Brajvasis, and looking for Krishna everywhere. And the question may come, why Sri Krishna performs these kind of pastimes when he loves his devotees? Why he want to have this mood of separation? Why he gives these troubles to his devotees? The answer given to us for that is to increase devotees' love for him. Just like when we boil milk more and more, the more we boil the milk, what it becomes? Rabdi, the sweet rabdi of Vrindavan. I'm sure most of us must have tasted. Vrindavan rabdi ki jai. So the more our feelings and emotions are boiled for Krishna, then it becomes more and more intense. And then when we get some reciprocation from Krishna, it is even sweeter than we can think of. Just like even in this material world, if husband and wife, their love, it gets more stronger when they occasionally want to, live separate also for some time, not together all the time. Similarly, when we miss our children more when they are away from home, when they are in college or maybe in other cities, right? That separation is needed to grow our love even stronger. So we'll proceed. अनेक प्रकार विलाप करिते लागिला सेई क्षणे आसी प्रभु तानर आलिंगेला. When Vasudev, the leper Brahmana, was lamenting due to not being able to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord immediately returned to that spot and embraced him. Hare Bol. So when Bhagwan Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came to know that Vasudev has become unconscious because of the separation with him. Although he had already walked several miles ahead, he turned back immediately. How he knew? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Ishvaraha sarva bhutanam hirdeshu arjun tishtati. I'm seated in everyone's heart. So Mahaprabhu knew his heart, the heart of his pure devotee. Of course, there was no mobile phone, no messages, no Wi-Fi, right? But Krishna sitting in our heart, he is the strongest Wi-Fi. So Mahaprabhu actually came back to Vasudev. Prabhu sparshe dukha sange kushta dure gale gela anand sahit ang sundar haila. This is so beautiful. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu touched him, both the leprosy and his distress went to a distant place. Indeed, Vasudeva's body became very beautiful to his great happiness. So Shriman Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he arrived near Vasudev's hut and called softly, Vasudev. And when he opened his eyes, what he saw before him? The golden figure of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which was, whose body is as effulgent as molten gold. And when Mahaprabhu saw Vasudev, he did not hesitate at all, looking at his condition with so many wounds, so many worms on his body. Still, he did not step even little. He didn't step back even little. He just ran forward and embraced Vasudev. And who is embracing Vasudev? The Supreme Lord, who is worshipped by millions and billions of Lakshmis. He's embracing a person externally who is not even, nobody from his village will touch him. He was outcasted. So if we try to meditate on this movement, here is a golden sannyasi who is effulgent like molten gold. He is embracing a man whose body is decaying. If I think about it, we will probably not even embrace a person who is sneezing these days or having some cold. Social distancing, right? But Mahaprabhu was not seeing his skin sores. He was just seeing the bhakti in his heart. And what happened? Just with Mahaprabhu's touch, he became a handsome, healthy person right away. So the point here is Mahaprabhu did not embrace him because his body was diseased. He embraced him because his heart was pure. That's the main point. So Mahaprabhu was looking at his heart. Bahu stuti kari kahe shun daya maya, jive gun nahi tumate haya. More dukhi mora gandhe palaye pamara, hena mora sparsha tumi swatantra ishvara. The Brahman Vasudev continued, O my merciful Lord, such mercy is not possible for ordinary living entities. Such mercy can be found only in you. Upon seeing me, even a sinful person goes away due to my bad bodily odor. Yet you have touched me. Such is the independent behavior of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is one of the pastimes which is mentioned to show the supremacy, the Bhagavatta of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Who else can hug or give a hug to a person who is filled with this contagious disease? We can still remember those difficult times of COVID. Even hospitals were not accepting the patients, the serious patients, because of the fear of infections. We might be thinking, apni jaan pehle bachao, right? So our love is usually occasional, conditional. But Krishna's love is absolute, pure, and unconditional. If we think about, then Krishna's love is pure, unconditional, and when we think about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is even at the next level, right? So very, very difficult situation if we think of COVID, or even today. Now people are so scared, usually they will not even go near a person having cold and cough, right? And some devotees might even quote a verse, Jan sarthak kari kar par upkar. पहले अपने आप को बचाओ फिर दूसरों को बचाओ, right? So now here Vasudev was thinking, he was so astonished, he was feeling so wonderful after seeing that how he has been cured right away and how much mercy he has got, that he recited this verse. Kwaham daridraha papiyam क्वः कृष्ण श्रीनिकेतनः ब्रह्ममधुर इति स्माहं बाहुभयां परिराम्भितः. He said, "Who am I, a sinful, poor friend of a Brahmana? And who is Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, full in six opulences? Nonetheless, he has embraced me with his two arms." So he's thinking about this verse. And this verse was actually spoken by Sudama when he left Dwarka after receiving Krishna's wonderful service. Krishna washed his legs and he fed him so nicely, gave him all the opulences. And while returning back from Dwarka, back to his home, Sudama was remembering this verse that now Vasudeva is also remembering. So he's feeling so grateful. What happens next? Kintu achilan bhala adhamahana ebe ahankar mora janmive ashiya. Being meek and humble, the Brahman Vasudeva worried what he would become proud. Being meek and humble, the Brahman Vasudeva worried that he would become proud after being cured by the grace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So see the other side of Vasudeva. So first reaction was he was feeling so grateful. And the second reaction now is he's thinking, actually we might be thinking that curing of the leprosy was the miracle here. But this is the real miracle if we think about it. That he's becoming now concerned that because now he has become a handsome person and all his disease has gone, that will make him full of ahankar. And that will be an obstruction to his devotional life. So he said to Mahaprabhu, now I may become proud. So just reflect on this. He's feeling so much uncomfortable that now knowing that even the people of the village and nearby village will come to know of this pastime of the Lord, and he will start receiving, Vasudeva will start receiving so much respect and glorification. So that was making him uncomfortable. This is the nature of a pure devotee. This will also remind many of us about the pastime of Srila Madhavendra Puri when he went from Sri Vrindavan to Ramuna in the south, and he got the mercy of Khirchor Gopinath in the form of Amrit Keli Kheer that Lord himself hid for him. And Srila Madhavendra Puri, realizing that now that pastime will make him famous, overnight he left that place because he knew people will start gathering and glorifying him and all that. And here I am who always think, how should I become famous? But the nature of devotee is totally opposite. There is a nice bhajan also that we sing. Ahankara mat haya nitai pad pasariya asatera satya kurimani. Being maddened after false prestige and identification with the body, one is thinking, what is Nityananda? What can he do for me? That is the ahankar. What Krishna can do? Now I am capable of doing everything on my own. Prabhu kahe kabhu tomar na have abhiman nirantar kaha tumi Krishna Krishna naam. Now Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu is giving him medicine for that fear, that disease also, for the disease of the false ego. Although he doesn't have that disease, but we can say he's giving him antidote for that. To protect the Brahman, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advised him to chant the Hare Krishna mantra incessantly, continuously. By doing so, he would never become unnecessarily proud. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving him the advice, the instruction to chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra continuously all the time, and that will never allow him to become or develop any false ego. So this is the power of Maha Mantra. In Vraj also, we must have seen, those of us who have visited Vraj, in many temples, we must have seen this song written, right? प्रेम गली इति अति साकरी तामे दो न समाए जब मैं था तब हरि नहीं अब हरि है मैं नहीं. So in this path of love, either, although it is my own heart, or I claim to be my heart, but either Krishna can live here or I can live here. We can keep only one, right? Krishna उपदेशी कर जीवेरा निस्तार अचिराते कृष्णा तोमा करीबे अंगीकार. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also advised Vasudev to preach about Krishna and thus liberate living entities. As a result, Krishna would very soon accept him as his devotee. So what is the other advice given to him? So first of all, if someone is very proud, very ahankari, he will always be deprived of Krishna's mercy. But here we see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu considered Vasudev to be most qualified and instructed him to act as an acharya. In this verse, Mahaprabhu is asking him to become a preacher. And from that day, Vasudev became a great preacher of the holy name. And he inspired many, many souls to chant and surrender to Shri Krishna. And this is the perfection of life. Manushya janama paya Radha Krishna na bhajiya Janiya suniya Vishakhainu. So we have received the gift of this human body, and if we have not done the bhajan of Radha Krishna, if we have not followed the path of Krishna consciousness, then it is like eating or consuming wish voluntarily. So this is the perfection of life, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Vasudev to chant continuously all the time names of Krishna, and also to preach about Krishna and benefit all the living entities. Vasudevo dhara ek hela khyana Vasudeva amrit prada haila prabhurana. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying, thus I have described how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reclaimed the leper Vasudev and so received the name Vasudev Amrit Prad. One of the name of Mahaprabhu is Vasudev Amrit Prad because of this beautiful pastime. Vasudev Amrit Prad, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. So, what is takeaway for us, or what can we understand from this pastime? We see Krishna's vision and material person's vision is totally different. Material people, they judge on the basis of bodily beauty, wealth, social class, education, health, external features. On the contrary, Krishna, he looks at the sincerity in our heart, humility in our heart, dependence, how much he can depend on us for his mission, for his service, and our service attitude. Service as well as what is the intention, what is the mood, what is the consciousness behind that service. So that's how the vision is of a spiritual person versus material person. So can anyone think of any other example like uh, Vasudev that we just heard? Any other pastimes from Krishna's, Ram, or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela? Any such example where we can understand the same point more? Anyone would like to
Hare Krishna.
unmute? Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Krishna, Vidur, and Duryodhan.
Krishna, Vidur, and Haribol. Very nice. Anyone else?
Sri Rama and Sabri.
Jai, Jai, beautiful. So question for us is, are we cultivating a heart that Krishna would run back to embrace us like he did for Vasudev? Or are we polishing just our externals and neglecting the inner sincerity? So that's the question we all can ask ourselves and check where our heart is. Another example, devotees shared beautiful examples just now. Another example is Kubja in Mathura. She was physically deformed, but when she offered the sandalwood paste with full devotion to Krishna and Balram, Krishna accepted her service and transformed her body right away. He saw her heart, and she turned into a beautiful lady. Similarly, our Srila Prabhupada, his vision, what was his vision? He actually showed this principle of seeing through the heart, not the externals, again and again. When he came to New York, externally all these boys and girls who joined him were hippies. They were kind of outcasted in the society. There was no Vedic culture known to them, no Brahminical training. Material society saw them as lost souls. But Srila Prabhupada saw the sincerity in them. Once he said, I'm not concerned with what you were. I'm concerned with what you can become. So he see through their heart. He saw the spark. That is Krishna's vision. And we saw how all those boys and girls became wonderful, wonderful disciples of Srila Prabhupada and spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. Because Srila Prabhupada followed the verse, Panditaha Samdarshanaha. He never differentiated based on the externals. One more example probably we can help us understand this principle is, if suppose somebody owns a diamond which is covered in mud. So a foolish person who does not know about a diamond, he will just see the mud, right? The dirt around. But an expert jeweler will see the diamond. So Krishna is the supreme jeweler. He sees beyond the layers of our karma, our conditioning, our traumas, our material conditions. He sees beyond that. And if we want to progress in this path of Krishna consciousness, we need to train ourselves to become like that. Start seeing through the hearts of people and not rejecting them based on their externals. So once again, Krishna sees what others cannot see. He sees our private prayers, not the show of our prayers or show of our bhakti. He sees the tears that we are shedding privately during our japa. He sees how much struggles we are making or struggles we are trying to win over when we are on this path of Krishna consciousness. So Krishna, the point is that we don't have to make a show of any of our effort, right? In the path of Krishna consciousness. We have to always see what's going on inside our heart. What is the real intention in my heart? And that sincerity is visible to the Lord. Others may be able to see it or not, doesn't matter. But Krishna will be able to definitely see that and acknowledge that sincerity. So when if Krishna, think about it, if Krishna would be looking at our externals, then probably a person like me definitely will have no chance. I will not stand even single chance. But fortunately for us, Krishna is not a dermatologist. He's not looking at our skin disease, right? He is a heart specialist, expert in heart surgery. So instead of checking our skin, he is checking the intention, our sincerity, our humility in our heart. And if he notices even a single spark of sincerity and intention, he notices and he helps us. How he helps us? By giving us the association of devotees, by giving us the association and shelter of spiritual masters, by giving us this beautiful ISKCON society. That's how Krishna will reciprocate. And there is a very powerful verse in the end of this pastime. Shraddha kari e lila e kare shravana, achirate milai tare chaitanya charana. One who hears these pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, with great faith will surely very soon attain the lotus feet of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Right? So whoever hears this pastime, read this pastime, will Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is giving us the guarantee. We'll get the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very soon. Now, very soon will be decided by both us and Krishna. It's a teamwork. So there are a lot of takeaways that we can take. I think it's about 9:20 already. But quickly, I can read through them that I thought are takeaways for me. I have no realization, struggling in the path of Krishna consciousness. But there are some very good takeaway lessons for me, that do not judge a person based on appearance. I should have humility that I'm getting more than I deserve. That is the humility. I should always be on guard to check feeling of pride, ahankar. Compassion and tolerance. Do I have the greed, utkantha, to get association of advanced devotees? And firm faith that Shri Krishna is noticing devotional service. No matter at what state of social life or what state of my bodily conditions, if my efforts are sincere, Krishna is seeing through my heart. So, because ahankar could be very subtle also. Guru Maharaj always says, make sure you desire to desire right. Our desire should be right. So our prayer to Krishna should be, help me in desiring the right thing that will be helpful in the path of bhakti. So, and another takeaway, Jivedaya Nam Ruchi Vaishnav Shevana. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also saying to Sanatana Goswami, and the same instruction he gave to Vasudeva. Jivedaya, for how? Preach Krishna consciousness. Nam Ruchi, chant Krishna Nam all the time, and perform Vaishnav Seva. With that, thank you so much for this session today, for having me and for listening to me. Thank you so much, all the devotees. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai, Shri Gaurang Mahaprabhu ki Jai, Bhakta Vasudev ki Jai. So if anyone would like to add anything to today's topic or any questions, please feel free. Thank you so much again. And I would like to thank His Grace Ramchandra Prabhu once again for this opportunity. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Dhir Krishna Prabhu. Just give me 1 minute. I'll just introduce to the programs we conduct at the ISKCON of Bergen. And then in the meantime, the devotees can collect their questions and we can go back to the question and
Sure,
answer
Prabhu.
session.
Sure.
So-
And let me try to unshare so that you can share.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
You can override. I think I'm not getting the unshare option.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Okay. So you can see my screen probably. Is my
Not yet.
screen not yet? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So this is our beautiful website, iskonofbergen.org, where all our programs are well organized. And the program like this, every Wednesday Sangha, we have speakers coming from all over the places, near and far, and on beautiful topics. Get a nice Sangha and get to hear from the devotees, hard to reach. So we do it every Wednesday, 8:30 to 9:30. And also we conduct the regular Sunday programs at the center in Paramus. Those who are nearby to New Jersey area, visiting here, feel free, just go to this website, ISKCON of Bergen, and you can visit us and we'll be more than happy to serve you here. On Sundays, we do the program in person. And Bhakti Beach program happens. Those who are moving here or not in the group and would like to join the Bhakti Beach sessions, please let us know. There's a join us link here and we'll connect you to one of the Bhakti Beach programs in our community. And all the other related programs, like we do the midday Bhagavad Gita reading, daily morning japa 6 to 8 a.m. on the same Zoom, and all the programs we conduct, and the Ekadasi and all that is well organized in the calendar, ISKCON calendar, which is also very well placed here. And all these programs like this are there on our YouTube channel, and the links are also available on this site. So that's our physical address, ISKCON Bergen Paramus. So with that, I'll go back to our speaker, Dhir Krishna Prabhu, for question answers, and Ramchandra Prabhu. Hand is up. And anybody else has question answer, please raise your hand or post it on the chat room so we can take that. Prabhuji, go ahead, please.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhu.
Krishna Prabhu, wonderful class. Especially going through all the verses is always good to read the actual verses in Prabhupada's translations. One more pastime comes to my mind was from Antya Leela chapter 4, which is Sanatan Goswami when he was in Jagannath Puri. And he develops these boils on his chest all over, on his body, his sores, and he also almost wants to give up his life. And Mahaprabhu, when he finds out, and he says, how can you do that? Because your body belongs to me. Your body is my property, as you have surrendered yourself to me. And Mahaprabhu embraces him. And the same mood that how can I go like this to Mahaprabhu? I'm not qualified. So this is a beautiful pastime. And one important thing that I realize is that unlike like Vasudev, Vipra, or Sanatan Goswami, or we take Shabri's example, or we take Kubja's example, or even Haridas Thakur, who was born in a Malaysia family, or Jagai Madai, is that we are all diseased. I'm diseased. Somebody came and gave that mercy. And once that mercy was received, his leprosy disappeared. But after that, we never hear that Vasudev became proud of having a beautiful body and being cured from everything. He never forgot the days when he was in leprosy. Shabri never became proud of, Lord Ram came to my doorstep. Haridas Thakur was never proud of. So a lesson to learn from this is that at one point we were all diseased, and by Prabhupada's mercy, by the devotees' mercy, we came to Krishna consciousness. And we must continue to remain humble. Otherwise, the cause of like Krishna or spiritual masters bringing us to Krishna consciousness, giving us that mercy, could become the reason of our downfall as well. Because when we get that pride that now I am, I'm qualified, I'm so and so, I deserve, why not me? Then it is a guaranteed fall from that mercy and that position that that we've got admittance into Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement. So that's something that came to my mind, because we see all these devotees who have been blessed, remained steady in their Krishna consciousness. And we must remember that also. We'd never consider. I was just reading as I was going through some readings of Mahaprabhu's Gaur Purnima, where one of the pastimes Prabhupada mentioned there are three types of devotees in the mode of Tamogun, Rajogun, and Sattvagun. The Tamogun devotee always thinks that I'm the only devotee. Rajogun thinks that there's nobody better than me, devotee. And Sattvagun thinks that after this life, I'll definitely, home back to God, and that's my goal. But Prabhupada says we have to rise about these three types and come to the Shuddha Sattva level, where we understand that whatever Krishna desires is what I want. As long as Krishna is pleased by my service, I'm happy. He doesn't ask for different types of liberation. His only goal is that is Krishna pleased by my service. So these pastimes are so important to hear. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhu, for summing it up so nicely and bringing more of these examples. And you're so right. Very easy to develop this pride. Even if somebody gets closer to his Guru Maharaj, very well, oh, I'm so close to my Guru Maharaj. I'm getting so much association. That could be also subtle pride. We never know. Anyway, so you already added so many points here. Very, very important in this path. Thank you, Prabhu. Any other questions?
Thank
Any
you.
comments?
Let me see. Devotees, anybody else has any questions? You can raise hand. Okay. Prabhuji, that was a beautiful topic and very nicely the way you elaborated it.
There is a hand raised, Prabhu.
आया कोई? Yeah, Mitaka. Go
Yes,
ahead.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for the wonderful lecture. I do have a question. So is it wrong to say this, that back in those times, the devotees were, very highly qualified devotees? Back then, the atmosphere was very spiritual, right? And then if we compare that time to the current time that we are in, it's we are so, there's so much distraction with so many things going around, so our bhakti is not as strong as the devotees that had that bhakti back then. So does that mean that we may never come close to that level of bhakti because we are surrounded by so much of distractions in this era? Is there a solution to that?
Solution is again same. So these examples sometimes sound like extreme also. But yeah, definitely the atmosphere, the environment was much more conducive to bhakti. But again, we see those 500 years back, there was a Mughal Empire. It was not so favorable also at the same time. Although there was no such distraction in the form of social media, news channels, right? But still, Mughals and were attacking, those temples and places of worship. Also, if we consider in this case what we read today, Vasudev, although very high consciousness, but think about his bodily condition. If I think about myself, if just a little pin, if it hurts me, I will be very disturbed. So if we follow the principles of bhakti in the form of what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given, Nam Ruchi, so Nam Jap, and the process that is given to us by Srila Prabhupada in the form of devotional service, association, and dovetailing everything into Krishna consciousness, then it is possible. If we see our spiritual masters, they are not from 500 years back, they are recent, right? They're following and experiencing the same advancement in bhakti, same kind of bliss in bhakti. So it's all in our intention. We have to change. Recently, I was hearing Srila Sachinandan Maharaj in Govardhan retreat. He was giving the retreat. He asked devotees 3 questions, beautiful questions we should ask ourselves. That am I interested in Krishna consciousness? All of us are, definitely, no doubt. Then he asked, why are we interested in Krishna consciousness? Little difficult question, right? We have to think about it. And the third question, okay, if we are interested in Krishna consciousness and we know why we are interested, then are we ready to change ourselves to, to get that goal in Krishna consciousness, right? So we have to change ourselves. If we can change ourselves, it will not be in our comfort zone. We have to make some changes, some amendments in our life, and then I'm not realized, of course, but I have heard from our spiritual masters, it is very much possible to advance. Of course, we cannot become like a Nitya Siddhya or eternal associates of Krishna, but definitely we can advance in bhakti. I hope that satisfies you to some extent, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu, thank you for that example of that era where Mughals were there. So they also had a lot of
Yes.
difficulties at that
Yeah,
time too.
we always think grass is greener on the other side, right? So thank you for that question. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Anybody else? Any other question? Mona?
Manhani
That's
Mataji, I think.
Manhari Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Namaskar.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I have a question. How do we know, as a practitioner, that Krishna has accepted me? Because material friends accept you based on, your looks, your money, your assets, but how do we know when we're practicing that Krishna has accepted us?
Mataji, you are already accepted. You are so dear to Guru Maharaj and Guru Ma.
Prabhuji, this is for everyone as well, and myself.
Okay. So yeah, how Krishna has accepted, he is giving us the chance to perform devotional service. He is giving us these beautiful associations like this. He is giving us the devotees are coming together every week. They're hearing, and I see ISKCON Bergen, every day they have a call, at least for 15 minutes, I know. Bhagavad Gita they read, come together, right? So, and they have, all congregations have morning chanting, people. So if we are doing all that, if we are getting interested in these things, it means Krishna has accepted us. Without Krishna's mercy, without Guru's mercy and empowerment, we cannot walk on this path. So we should feel very fortunate. The question is, are we realizing that fortune to the full extent and moving ahead? That's the only question, I think. But Krishna has definitely accepted. Srila Prabhupada has accepted us. So maybe you would like to add, Mataji, something from your experience?
No, Prabhuji, nothing but in particular. I think it's basically the more interest we develop, I think that is probably my answer. The more interest you get to.
Yeah. This is how Krishna will reciprocate. He will give us more chances to perform devotional service. He will give us more association of wonderful devotees, and he will give us opportunities to chant, do sing Sankirtan, and these little things, they are reciprocation from Krishna, that he's seeing our interest in him.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you, Mataji, for appearing here. Anybody else has any questions? Hare Krishna. Great Prabhu, do you have any question?
Yeah, I don't see any more hands.
Okay. So I think I just want to say thanks, and then I think some 2 points I really like, kind of key to the discussion and very helpful for me. You mentioned that Krishna Bhakti is possible only with the intense greed, lolium, and you also mentioned that the verse 2.7.147 that Mahaprabhu reveals the secret when Vasudeva was afraid of the false ego, that chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra continuously and a little relief from that false ego. That was really, really very satisfying to me, at least. And thank you for giving your time and giving us your association and beautiful, wonderful story and realizations. I'm sure that devotees at ISKCON of Bergen and all other devotees have liked it, and we appreciate your time on that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna, and Dandavat Pranam to all the devotees. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Yes, Shripad. I'd like to request devotees, you can unmute yourself and say thank you to Prabhuji, Haripai saying Haribol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Thank you.
Krishna.
Thank
Hari
you,
Hari
Prabhuji.
Bol.
Thank you so much,
Krishna.
Prabhuji, for
Hare
such a
Krishna.
wonderful class.
Thank you for the wonderful class.
Thank you so much.
Hare
Jai
Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada. Jai
Srila
Jai
Prabhupada.
Srila
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai Krishna. Vanchakalpatam Vishwapasinam
Sindhu
Shukatitanam
Vevacha,
Pavnebhyo
Patitanam
Vaishnavabhyo
Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Have a good day.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.